Then we have the Materials tab. The Material tab describes attributes about the item, what the barcode item number is, an alternate item number, an exchange item. The exchange item is used that when the customer buys something, they have to give you something back. For example, they come into your store and they buy a starter for your car. They have to return a starter. Otherwise, they get charged for for not having exchange item. You have the maximum allocatable quantity. So up here you have the allocate flag. So you can say auto allocate, but I don't want to allocate more than a certain amount automatically. For example, that Cy Kessler, they sell batteries. They have thousands of batteries on hand, and they sell both to manufacturers where they may sell 50,000 of a particular battery item, but they also sell batteries to jewelry stores like Zales and K Jewelers, where they sell them 1, 2, 10 at a time, of course at much higher prices. So the max allocate quantity lets them set something and say, regardless of how many we have, don't allocate more than 10,000 at a time. Or they can set it as a percentage and say, I don't want to allocate to any particular order more inventory than will take my on hand below 20%. So it lets you avoid wiping out your stock by one customer and then having your other customers unhappy with you. Similar to safety stock, but a little less labor. Seasonal code lets you identify a code for seasonality of an item. Danger code lets you put in the hazardous goods number if it happens to be a hazardous good. For example, lithium batteries you have to identify, and they can't be sent by air. So anything that has a danger code, the system won't let you send it UPS red, UPS blue, FedEx overnight. It has to go by ground, and it will print on the shipping label in big letters the danger code. Most of our customers don't have that, but in the case of Kessler, they ship lithium batteries, so they can't go by air. Then we've got some more item information. The assembly code indicates whether it's a finished good or a kit or a bundle. Now, if you're not manufacturing, finished, kit, and bundle are the items that you would normally use. A finished good is something you take off the shelf and you ship, pick and pack. A kit is, in the case of OFM, it's a chair that consists of a base, 2 arms, and a back, I think. Rob, what pieces go into a chair?
Basically, some would be components. So like it would be like a chair, which could be sold as a finished good, and then maybe an accessory to arms, and then so we put those together, and then maybe a drafting kit, and then that would be the kit.
Okay, so a kit like Rob said, a kit consists of multiple finished goods that are assembled or packaged together at the picking level, so they can be sold individually or grouped together to be sold as a kit in order to offer different pricing. Then a bundle is similar to a kit, except the bundle is immediately exploded on the sales order. When you enter a kit, it would be chair kit 1, and it's 1 line on the sales order. If you enter chair bundle 1, it then explodes itself to a chair, 2 arms, and a headrest, for example, so that they can be shipped individually from different warehouses, possibly. So based on different customer needs, you either use chairs or bundles, kits or bundles. Size is clear, color is clear, format, just different description things, sales class, sales detail, sales category. Authorized indicates that this is an item that customers have to be authorized to buy. And then if that's flagged, the system goes out and checks the authorization file table to make sure that the customer is authorized to buy this. Then moving over on the materials tab, we have packaging. This is the unit of measure, the smallest unit of measure that you sell this item in. Most cases, it's eaches. But if you're an office supply store, you may not sell pencils or rubber bands as eaches. You may sell them as a carton. But in most cases, it's going to be eaches. Then unit of measure 2 is the next unit of measure up. So for example, a carton has 6 eaches in it. A case has 24 eaches in it. Okay, I don't have pallet on here. So during order entry, it's going to come up and let you enter either eaches or cartons or cases, and it will then automatically explode it for you. If the customer says, I want 6 cartons of this, it's going to explode it into 36 eaches. On the pick list, if you enter an order, let's say for 40 units of this, the pick list will print 40 units, and then underneath it, it's going to say that is 6 cartons and 4 eaches, or 1 case and 2 cartons and 4 eaches. So it'll tell you what the units of measure are so you can pick it more easily. During purchase order entry, your vendor may only sell it to you in cases. So you place an order for 10 cases, which is 240 eaches, and then during the receiving process, it's going to convert those 10 cases into 240 eaches, because the quantity that we keep in inventory is always the lowest unit of measure. This tells you what our default purchasing unit of measure is and what our default order entry unit of measure is. Then we also have a barcode for unit of measure 2, 3, and 4, because for receiving or for picking, let's take in the case of a liquor store, you may have a 6-pack of beer, which is going to have a different barcode on it than a single bottle of beer. So if you scan the 6-pack barcode, point of sale is going to do a find item by something. It's going to say, oh, this barcode indicates it's a 6-pack, and use the appropriate price for that. It lets you store the pallet size for, well, one to the left. It shows how many are on a pallet. In this case, let's say there's 144 on a pallet. Lets you store the pallet size. Let's say it's a 24 by 36 inch pallet. And it'll say the pallet has 12 layers of 12 on it. And this is really used in the area of wholesale grocery distribution and stuff, where they're having to figure out how much will fit in a truck, how much will fit on a pallet. Some distributors will only sell pallet quantities of stuff based on the pallet sizes. So we got to tab 2 on the materials.
Frank, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Okay, on one of the problems we face in liquor business is what they call a seasonal beer, where the manufacturer use the same barcode for 2 different products on different parts, in spring and winter. Is there any support for that in the inventory? Is there any way we can identify 2 products with the same barcode?
Well, you use the cross-reference file where you would put in the two base items, both having the same barcode, and then based on the seasonality, you set one inactive.
Okay. Yeah, but then there could be some times where the two kind of overlap each other. So
Well,
you may have both seasons in at the same time.
well, then you have mixed stock. If you have 5 bottles left over from spring, and you're now in the summer and you get 10 bottles, you now have 15 bottles in stock with the same barcode number.
So what happens when you scan it?
Well, when you scan it, it's going to reduce the inventory of whatever the current one is. The other choice that we would have is to set something that if you scan it and the barcode points to two active items, that it would have to ask you which one it is.
Okay, good.